Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Briarwood Christian head football coach Matthew Forrester, powered by CM Gridiron. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Last week, tough loss against Homewood, came away 28-7. Tell us a little bit about that game.
You know, Homewood's a really quality opponent. They've got a great senior quarterback, and they got a lot of experience on defense. So ultimately, it boils down to us playing 5 bad minutes of football.
Right.
We gave up 21 points in 5 minutes right before halftime. And when you do that against a team that has a really good defense and a senior quarterback that's not going to make mistakes, it's hard to overcome that.
It is very hard to overcome.
So we had a great second half from a defensive perspective. They really rallied, they unified, they came together. And offensively, we got some stuff going, but again, Homewood's a good defense. They were really stingy in the red zone.
Right.
Made it difficult for us. So it was a tough loss, but it's a loss that is a non-region game.
Right.
Doesn't affect anything we want to do this year in terms of goals.
Right.
So we're really excited about this upcoming week. It's region play.
Yes,
Here
it
we
is.
go. Let's get ready, and we've played 2 tough opponents with the idea that we're getting ready for our region.
Right. So it was definitely a learning experience. What do you think you came with learning-wise from the game?
I think one of the big things in football is you've got to learn to trust your teammate. Sometimes your job is to tackle the guy that might not have the ball because you're assigned to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to trust that the guy that's supposed to get the running back is going to be there.
Right.
So trust plays a big part in that, learning to trust one another, believe in each other. And then, we play football in the state of Alabama. Football really matters.
Yes, it
and
does.
You have to play with a lot of intensity.
Right.
You've got to play every play like it's your last.
Yes.
And you've got to play with some abandonment and some recklessness. And that's really what we developed in that second half.
Right.
Is just playing the game, playing for fun, playing with your teammates. And that's the challenge each week. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are around, but this game matters, and there's a whole lot of people watching, and the other team's going to play with a lot of intensity. And so we've got to be there with them.
Absolutely. So you mentioned a rough first half. The team sort of rallied in the second half. Tell us about a few of the players that looked really good that second half.
I think in the second half, Wes Burgess was a safety.
Nice.
Who played really well. He was flying all over the field. Rylan Ham defensively probably played the best game he's played, and he was outstanding as a Sam linebacker, flying around the field. And then offensively, Dane Whitehead, wide receiver, he had a big time. He ran a little corner post, little cop route, popped wide open, took it to the house. And then quarterbacks, Braden Robertson played really well in that second half. And so there's a lot to build on. And then you also, when you play 2 tough teams, you're going to have injuries, and you're going to have young guys that are going to have to step up.
Yes,
and
sir.
so seeing a sophomore running back, Jackson Ryer, come in and have a really good second half, it was a lot of fun to see.
Well, good. Now, you mentioned injuries. We talk about this every week. What happened to your team injury-wise?
Their nicks and bruises was this week, so there was nothing major. Luke Reynolds was still out from the game against Oak Mountain, and so we didn't have him. But, just little bangs, little pushes. Hey, I need a playoff. I need a little bit of time to recover. And so you're building your depth in games like these too, which is really important. You can't go in and play non-region and say, I'm going to play 22 guys in a non-region game. You've got to get other people with experience. And so we did that. We rotated in, I think, 7 offensive linemen, got some snaps. We played about 7 or 8 receivers, 3 running backs.
Good.
We had a lot of guys rolling in. Because we've got to create depth.
Get that experience under their belt. Good deal. We will be right back to discuss this week's opponent, but first, check this out from CM Gridiron.
PrepsNet Coach Speak is powered by CM Gridiron. CM Gridiron is your home of fan-focused Alabama high school football. From our weekly interactive Team of the Week and offensive and defensive fan-selected player of the week polls to the Alabama High School Stadium Tour, player profiles, Coach of the Week features, and live in-game scoreboards. CM Gridiron is the largest fan-driven digital platform in the state of Alabama. Your team, your voice, your vote, your game. CM Gridiron.
And we're back. So, Coach, this Friday, got another tough test. This time it's Ramsay High School playing here at home, so that'll be good. Ramsay is 0-2. They've had some tough losses to some really tough teams. They lost to Parker 41-12, and they've also lost to Clay Chalkville 62-7. How do you prepare for a team that is hurt and kind of in the corner like this?
Yeah, that's always a tough place to be, is when you're backed into a corner.
Right.
And so, I mean, the good news for us is we feel that same thing Ramsay feels.
Right.
We feel that we're backed into a corner and we've got to come out swinging. So you're getting two teams. You look at some of the top teams in the North that have all started 0-2. I mean,
Right.
Briarwood, Ramsay, Moody have all started 0-2.
Teams, yeah.
And it's hard being a 5A school. You're going to have to play up. You're going to have to play those non-region games, 6A, 7A level. And
Right.
so all three of us have done that. And we obviously, none of us have started ideally where we want to be. But at the same time, now you're coming in and you know you have a new team, but you also have to respect the tradition of the program.
Right.
And so you know that Ramsay has been incredibly successful over the years. They've done a lot of good things. And you don't watch every play of every game. You focus on how they're going to choose to attack you. And when
Yes.
you watch them on tape, they do some really good things on both sides of the ball. And so we've got an opportunity to have a great night on Friday night.
Right.
But it's going to be a good game. I mean, Ramsay's a good team. They've just happened to play two really good opponents. But I
Right.
think you can say the same about Briarwood. They're a really
Yes, you
good team.
can.
Just happen to play two good opponents. So there's a lot of that going around. But at the same time, we're up for a challenge. We knew when we got Ramsay, the draw was game 3 with them. We knew that this was going to be a tough game, and we
Sure.
both needed to get ready for each other. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Well, good. You mentioned earlier, this is your first region game. How important is this game in terms of overall region play?
I mean, anytime you're playing the defending region champion,
Yes.
a team that went to the state championship game, you know that the region championship is going to matter in this game, because you know you want to beat the defending region champ. And so when we start out of the gate with them, this is a really good indicator for us of where we stand in the region.
Right.
Because the region's changed a little bit for them last year. We weren't in their region, but most part they've got the same region. And so us getting to step in here, this will be our first test in the new 5A Region 5. And so for us being able to see the opponent and the level of competition that's in that region, this will be a good indicator for us.
Gotcha. So basically both teams are coming in. They're both hungry. It seems like it's going to come down to that want, that need to win, as well as personnel. Does that sound about right, Coach?
You think you hit the nail on the head.
All
Absolutely.
right. Well, that's our show, Coach. Appreciate your time again, and we appreciate you watching. Follow us again next week as we have another Briarwood version of Coach Speak. Thanks for watching.